All right, y'all, it is Saturday, March the 8th, and I owe y'all a couple episodes, so let's go. So just to recap and just so we're clear, an unelected immigrant billionaire bureaucrat is now rolling on Special K, laughing about how he's demonizing the American workforce against itself and taking away thousands of American jobs. For no reason, just because he can. And he's taking our money to do it. We're paying him to crash our economy and take our jobs away. And he's rolling on Special K and going on shows like Joe Rogan to talk about how empathy needs to go away, how he wants to bring in the Hunger Games for poor people. And don't you dare come in here and gaslight me and go, they don't mean that. Does that dude look like someone who would not enjoy watching poor people fight to the death? Come on. Come on. All of the steeple people would enjoy that. They enjoy thinking about it as long as they think it's not going to be them and it's going to be the people they don't like. They don't realize that it's going to be them. They're going to cheer for it and say, yeah, let's do it. And then it'll be them getting sent to the Coliseum. This dude, I didn't hear it, so y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard he was so high on that interview that he started having hallucinations and seeing like garden gnomes or something in the room. That's who's running the government. Okay, with no vetting, no background check, no drug test, no nothing. And he's currently dismantling any agency that was looking into any of his companies. And he's doing it while rolling on goodness knows what kind of special designer, you know what. And there's a certain demographic of people that are like, that's just fine. Any price. I have no problem letting a white immigrant ruin the country so long as it means I don't have to look at brown people. You've been seeing those comments pop up on the videos. Well, yeah, white people would work harder if we just knew we didn't have to see blacks anywhere. Like, that's your excuse? Your excuse is you're not working hard because you have to look at black people. And if we left, you would suddenly improve your productivity. You sure about that? You sure about that? Or is it that the people you like targeting, you can't compete with? And that's why you don't want us there. It's not that you plan on working harder. It's that, you know, if you get rid of the people who do work harder, the bar lowers, and now you don't have to try to keep up anymore. You see, people are starting to figure it out that this regime is all about incompetence and highlighting incompetence. We have a generation or so of dudes that did not join the military, did not fight in the Afghanistan war, did not do a whole lot of things that should have built them up into something. Instead, they're sitting in mom's basements or in trailers somewhere, getting upset that nobody wants them without them having to do anything. And now those people are following a rolling billionaire who's not even from this country and saying, hell, you know who the problem is? Veterans, government workers, federal employees. So now people with no jobs are at home going, yeah, get rid of all those federal employees. We don't need them. That's government overspend. Those were useless. Yeah, veterans don't need benefits. That's overspend. They don't deserve that. Old people, retirees don't deserve Social Security. That's just welfare. That's socialism. They don't deserve that. And the people that are saying that the most are collecting some form of aid check themselves. That's the best part. That's the best part is they themselves are collecting checks and have the nerve to demonize working, tax-paying citizens, the ones providing the funds. So this is your daily reminder that if you haven't stopped yet, we're not paying for this meal. Do you understand? If everyone stops paying, they can't come for everybody. They need the money to make this happen. They need money and they need compliance. And more people are figuring out that if we take away the money and we take away the compliance, they have nothing. The folks who are like, oh, no, I'm going to trust the military because I don't want them to declare the martial law. South Korea. They declared the martial law and what happened? 24 hours, done. Okay, it requires compliance. And speaking of that, I'm going to address the folks who hop into my comments to say that, you know, we shouldn't, don't go out. Just wait for the military to do something. I have faith. That's a little suspicious to me, sir. And that's coming from someone who said, okay, guys, don't trip. Let's see what the Dems do. Let's see, hey, look, here's all the little breadcrumbs that make sense that they have to be doing something. There's no way they're just going to let this happen. And then I watched them let it happen. I said, oh, okay, time to switch gears. And I did. So if I were to continue saying, okay, now we're just going to wait for the next group. Now we're going to wait for the military to step in and save us, guys. Just they're going to do it. Don't worry about it. That's suspicious. Sounds like you're telling people to just continue waiting. waiting while the regime keeps doing whatever they're doing. And while it is imploding, and the girlies are fighting, and it's a hot mess, and it's a hot legal mess, and it's a hot international mess, and even world leaders are pulling off the veneers. They're stepping away from the diplomacy of trying to respectfully refer to these people and giving them all the respect they deserve, which is none. Did you see, was it France or the UK? One of the European nations was talking about Kodaddy Doo-Doo and his special K use openly in a speech behind a podium, talking about that dude's addiction. Okay? That's how bad it is. People around the world are laughing at us that we've got a literal team of addicts and criminals running the show, and the other nations are like, what the fuck is going on over there? All right. I don't know if you heard, but rumor has it that the EU signed a deal with Ukraine, a mineral deal. Remember that deal that the administration pissed off Ukraine and kicked them out, and then they spread a rumor saying, oh no, he's coming back. He's begging to work with us because we have all the cards. Yeah, so the EU got together, and I'm hearing, I guess we'll find out if it's confirmed, it might be confirmed by the time I post this, that they are working on a mineral deal in exchange for protections, and that's the one that's going to go through, because our deal was for them to give us their minerals, or like 50% of it or whatever, and they were getting nothing in return. No security, no guarantees, no ceasefire, no nothing. And the rhetoric was because USA and Russia has all the cards, which they don't. But that's the narrative you have to push when you want to brainwash the steeple people and two-teethers into believing that we are still respected on the world stage when we are not. So we just got iced out of that. And in retaliation, the co-daddies of Dandy are looking at all kinds of other things. We're going to tariff the EU. We're going to tariff Canada dairy. We're going to tariff, like, at this point, nobody cares. And at this point, even the other world leaders are laughing at them. Like, okay, we're just going to act as though this person is in cognitive decline because obviously they are not okay. Their behavior patterns are not okay. There's obviously something wrong with them. We are just going to work around it. So we're being cut out, and other people are calling it out, while in this country, they're protecting it and projecting. If you hadn't, hoy darling, they are now talking about investigating Joe Biden's mental decline. Okay? Joe Biden is not the president. He's not the president, and they want to spend taxpayer dollars and work hours on investigating his mental standing. His mental standing. Not the dude who's fumbling all over himself in a diaper. And yes, I know folks keep coming in here sometimes and they go, hey, incontinence is... I'm not poking at the incontinent community. Okay, we're not talking about that. We are talking about one dude running through here like he's hot shit when the hot shit is in his pants. Okay, that's it. It's not about the incontinent community. It's about one asshole that needs to be put in his place. All right. And hopefully that's not who you're choosing to identify with. There are plenty of other folks that are way better examples that you could identify with. So in continued winning, did you know that there were multiple tornadoes in Texas this past week? And residents got no warning because the administration of efficiency got rid of the weather alert system. So tornadoes hit in the middle of the night and residents had no idea it was coming. Get used to that. There's going to be more of that. More of that. Can you imagine? You could have been warned, but you voted for a regime that defunded the warning system because we don't need that. That's money that the billionaires could use. Who cares if tornadoes come in the middle of the night and people just in the process? That's what they want, because then that's more land they can buy up. That's more property they can buy up. That's what they're doing. They are destroying whole chunks of the country so they can turn it into billionaire tech bro freedom cities. And you know, whenever these people say freedom, what they really mean is something horrible, something cruel and horrible and awful that only benefits rich assholes and steeple people. And that's exactly what it is. Just like the town that Kodaddy in Texas is trying to build, his compound he's trying to make for him and his kids and his women and his workers. A compound. All right? Are we repeating history yet?